Josh 3 Arch the Archer. In today's video, we will be talking about Michael Porter Jr. on the Denver Nuggets 14th pick in the 2018 NBA draft. And he has been doing very good for them. Last season, he played way more minutes, averaged way more points compared to his first. It hit some pretty big shots in the playoffs. Keep in mind that with Michael Porter Jr. into the 2018 NBA draft, he was projected to be the #1 pick, but obviously he got that injury and he fell in the NBA draft. A lot of people didn't even expect him to fall all the way to 14. People were like kind of like in the NBA draft, like, why is this guy not being taken at the 10th spot or even like the 8th spot? He fell to 14 with the Denver Nuggets. And that's why I'm thinking that this season for Michael Porter Jr., it's going to be a really like breakout season, and he's going to have a season that he averages at least over 20 points per game. 100%, I feel like this is going to happen. I think the Denver Nuggets, they're realizing that he's progressing and they're going to take a chance at him because he did very good like last season. His career high with the Denver Nuggets is 39 points. I feel like that's something he could just do in his sleep. And when he kind of gets into that run, he's unguardable. Like I said, he hit 8 3-pointers with the Denver Nuggets. And he's that type of guy that's going to turn into a superstar, all-star with the Denver Nuggets in the coming years. He's that type of guy that's going to be, like, in my opinion, a player of the caliber like Paul George, a player of the caliber maybe even like, I don't want to say Kevin Durant, but he's going to be a very, very, very good player just by how I see him playing. Like, he's that type of guy that could pull up in your face and he's just not going to miss. Like, he's just not going to miss those crazy, difficult shots that he can make in his sleep. Michael Porter Jr. honestly is going to be one of the most underrated players going into this year. Just for the fact, I don't really think that much people are high on him anymore due to his injuries and everything. Last year, I didn't really see that much people talking about him. He hit obviously 19 points a game, which I feel like, he could have been in the running to be an all-star with the Denver Nuggets. I feel like this season with the team, they're going to be using him as a three-point shooter way more than they did before, because last season he did very good shooting threes. And I feel like, with Jokic on the team, like, that's definitely going to be easy to do. Jokic is going to be finding him open on the three-point shot, and he's going to be knocking them down, of course, because I feel like Michael Porter Jr. is a very underrated three-point shooter, and like next year, he's definitely going to show that potential for them. Something that I think that he's really underrated on is his defensive side of things. Obviously, he has a little bit of height to him, and, he can get those blocks, he can catch those rebounds, he can get them steals, of course. I think his wingspan is pretty high up there. So, like, his overall game is pretty solid. Michael Porter Jr. is a pretty solid player. And like I said, next year, I think he's going to be having a unstoppable season. You can honestly probably see him averaging, like I said, probably upwards of 25 points per game. That just depends on how much the Nuggets play him. I don't think they're going to play him that much. So, to be realistic, 20 points per game, 22 points per game. It's going to be way more than 19 points per game, just because I think Michael Porter Jr. has the potential to be like an actual best type of player on the team. With that being said, though, I'm hoping that, Michael Porter Jr., he can stay healthy. He doesn't, get any more injuries. I know that was like a back injury, I think, which is that was more severe type of injury. And it was looking pretty bad for his career. So hopefully nothing bad like that happens. And I think if nothing bad like that happens, he's going to be 100% a superstar. With that being said, that's going to wrap up things for this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe, comment down below what you think about my boy, Michael Porter Jr. for the Denver Nuggets. Josh the Arch, the Archer, and I am out.